Hello, this is Mike, Creation Creator, here today to talk about creating in the present moment and also how to reclaim your faith in your own ability to create the life that you want. And creating the life we want is a thing that follows when we really become focused in creating in every present moment. In every moment, we have the perfect ability to create our own experience. And by that, I mean we get to choose what things mean. We get to choose what we think and feel. And perhaps most importantly, we get to feel and learn to be okay with the way we feel and not to fight with what we feel. Fighting with the way you feel, like I have done so much, it fragments our awareness into the past and the future. It gets stuck in these blocks in the past where we feel like we failed at creating. And it creates this doubt that I can't create because this aspect of me failed at creating in the past. And that is a really weird effect of trying to create as the ego self and the small self, because the whole purpose of remembering how to create and reclaim our creative power, it's not just the law of attraction, silly things. It's not trying to get specific physical abundant symbols out there that society agrees on. What we're doing by re-embodying our higher selves and our soul's knowing of our own divine self is we're remembering that we have the complete ability to create in each moment. And the ability to create our experience, our energy perfectly in each moment is done by the part of us that only exists in the present moment. And that is our higher self, our Christ self. Because whenever we become really aligned with our creator aspect, and we really, it's all based in allowing all parts of you into the present moment. It's not about shutting out the past or where you felt like you failed and creating and feeling bad and, all of that. And it's also not about expecting the future and trying to plan yourself to death and not appreciating what's here. We learn to create in the moment because that's where we are. That's where creation is. That's where our creator is. It's where we are. So this transmission is about remembering ourselves as master creators and not ourselves as in a physical human identity, but in the higher self identity which is aligned with the human identity, which is why it can be so confusing for people, is because the human self is not the fullness of the divine self. It's an aspect of it. It's a vessel. It's an aperture where the divine self is able to manifest and recognize what it is and its purpose and being in physical earth to realize itself so it can be free to create in the present moment as you, and then to create a future based in fullness and abundance and completion in what you already are, which is a perfect creation of the divine. And to realize that we are a perfect creation of the divine it's completely under the jurisdiction of self-love, about allowing all parts of our self home to our own loving acceptance. Because whenever you're on a spiritual journey and you try techniques of creating things you want, like law of attraction, and then it doesn't go your way and you feel like you failed, it creates a part of you that says it's angry at yourself and the teaching, and it feels like it's been betrayed. It wasn't validated by its ability to create, and that part of you is at a standoff with the higher self ability, the Christ self in the moment, to perfectly create experience. And those parts that get fragmented in the past and expectations in the future that get fragmented too, they have to be reintegrated into your higher self's light in the present moment. And that your higher self accomplishes this. It does the heavy lifting, but the human part of us is the part that chooses it, because we exist in this planetary matrix of so much fear and density and stagnation of consciousness and thought systems that imprison us in physical identity. And since we're here, our higher selves will do all of that heavy lifting, that ability to perfectly congeal all aspects of our shadow self, our inner child, hurt emotions, stagnant emotions, painful emotions. They all return to the light through our divine light that is in the present moment. And it's not something that we have to try and do. It's done by our alignment with intention, our divine self's intention that it be done. And we do that by perfectly accepting the parts of ourselves that doubt, that felt like we failed in parts of our past in creating, the parts of us that feels betrayed, that the outer world won't reflect back to us our energy, our desire for companionship of equal consciousness. All of that desire, all of that pain we feel of those parts that feel betrayed, they belong to the collective unconsciousness. And we experience them in the planetary matrix as the physical form. Yes, but we will be free of it by allowing our higher self to transmute it. And we return it to the higher self by respecting it, loving it, welcoming it home, and doing it not just for our singular self, but we do that work for everyone, because we realize that doubt, fear, and pain is the unconscious collective. In compassion, we allow that to return to source through us, and we reclaim our complete absolute power to create in the present moment as one with our higher self's light. And in so doing, we heal the collective of those energies, because that's what we chose to come here and do, is feel it, respect it, and then allow it to be free in our compassion. And by doing that, we free ourselves of thinking that the pain and suffering is ours, because it's the collective of humanity's collective unconscious. And pain and suffering are caused by thinking things belong to you. And that means anything. Physical symbols of success or wealth, but also painful emotions. And people think they're only theirs, but they're not. It's a collective energy people create. And that collective energy guides planetary collective creative power. And when everyone's agreeing that it's normal to be unhappy and kind of depressed and negative and, hate going to work and everything, everyone agrees on it. And we pretend it's normal, but it's not. It's very unnatural to think that anything really belongs to you, be it physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, because that's what the ego does, is it perpetuates its belief that it's separate. It perpetuates doubt of its own inherent completion and joy and complete ability to create and be free. It imprisons itself in doubts and things that it does not like because it's afraid of its light. And to come back into our higher self's light and step into our ability to be master creators that co-create with our higher self to help heal the earth and heal planetary consciousness into love and compassion. We allow it all to return to the light through us in the present moment. And that's when we can learn to really just play and know that our imagination is so infinite that whenever we think thoughts, visualize, or intend, play in our imagination from a foundation of love and desire to heal the world through it. That is how we paint on our canvas as master creators to heal the world. And it doesn't matter if you fail at creating what you think you're supposed to create 10,000 times, a million times, whatever. Because you can completely recreate your consciousness in every present moment. And you don't do it with the part of you that's failed so much in the past, but the part of you that's only in the present moment. The part of you that's always brand new. The perfect creation of the divine that you are, that you know and feel and become one with by loving yourself the way your higher self loves you, which is complete, unconditional, ever-expanding joy, love and compassion, excitement, and passion to be exactly the way it is. And so, to be a master creator, you have to return to the present moment. And that's not done by the mind trying hard as a separate self. It's done by loving who you are, by sending love to your heart and allowing all the fragmented pieces of the past and future selves that you've left behind to be free to come home. Decide that it's okay for them to become home. It's okay that you feel bad. because those parts of you want to feel accepted. And when they feel accepted, then you become a whole, cohesive, integrated being of collective Christ consciousness. That's when you know and feel and demonstrate and manifest the perfect power to be exactly who you are, and the perfect power to be exactly what you intend to become. With that being said, this transmission comes to a close, and it is my soul's highest prayer that this energy may bless someone out there with the physical ears to hear it, and also to bless the world energetically by the light that I am bringing forth. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. This is Mike. Have a blessed day.